Alright, today to make the hot air balloon, we're going to start off, you're going to need 4 of these long 20 by 30 pieces of tissue paper and 5 of these 20 by 20 square pieces. You will need some glue, a glue stick, some scissors, a pencil to mark with, and a meter stick. You will also need 2 construction paper collars that we will use at the end. So we're not going to need the glue and the collars and 1 of the 20 by 20 pieces that will make the lid, the top to the balloon. We will put that aside till the end so we don't accidentally cut it. To start with, we're going to start with the 20 by 20 pieces of tissue paper, and we're going to cut out those trapezoid patterns, which will then be glued to the bottom of each of the long rectangular pieces. So we're going to take those away. In order to make the trapezoid, the first thing we're going to do is use our ruler on the 1-inch side to measure down from one edge of the paper 12 inches and make a mark. Make a couple of marks at 12 inches down from that same edge so that we can then turn our meter stick sideways and make a horizontal line at 12 inches. We're going to use that to cut trapezoids out of this top part. Once we have that, we want to use the center 6 inches. So if I start at one end and count out 7 inches, that would be the edge of the 7-inch of waste on that side. Then 6 inches of the center will take me to 13. So I've placed a little mark line on the 12-inch line at 7 inches and 13 inches. Now from each corner of the top, I'm going to draw a cut line, a line that I will cut on from the corner down to the mark I made. From the corner down to the mark I made, and then from the other corner down to that 13-inch mark that I made. And these will be the lines that I cut along to make my trapezoid. Okay, if I'm very careful to align my paper, I can stack all 4 pieces together and use clips to hold it in place while I cut. I'm going to cut the trapezoid out of all 4 pieces at once. Used for another project. Alright, now I should have 4 identical trapezoids. Okay, now I'm ready to glue my 4 trapezoids to the bottom of my large rectangle. I'm leaving it at 20 by 30 just so it'll be a little taller. You want to glue about an overlap about the width of the glue stick. So run a line of glue stick glue along the tissue paper of the rectangle, and then overlap the long side of the trapezoid to match and press the glue down. This is where it's helpful to have a partner help stretch the tissue paper of the rectangle at the same time. Repeat this process for all 4 rectangle panels. Okay, now that we have glued the trapezoids to all 4 rectangular panels, we are now going to glue the panels to each other on the long sides. So taking a panel, we're going to run a width of glue, again just about the width of a glue stick, all the way down the panel side, Take the next color panel you would like. Overlap the width of a glue stick. This is where it's helpful to have somebody stretch it for you. And press it down to glue. Repeat that for the remaining 2 panels. With all 4 panels glued to each other, we'll glue the trapezoids together. Starting with one, find the trapezoid that is underlaying the other and put glue on that side so that when you bring them up, they're already overlapped. Put glue stick width down the edge of the trapezoid. Bring the edges up and pinch glue them together, overlapping all the way to the bottom. Again, very helpful to have a partner help you hold these tight. Okay, with one done, move on to the next. And repeat that for all 4 panels. As you get to the end, you are now ready to glue the side panels together, completing the box. So take one panel and fold it over and glue the edge. Being careful not to glue it to itself. And bring the far side panel and match it up. Again, overlapping about the width of the glue stick. Open that up right away to make sure it doesn't glue to itself. Make sure everything's glued well. And then glue the remaining trapezoid panel to finish that off. As long as you plug up most of the holes and it doesn't leak air, it should work just fine for you. Okay, taking the inside of one of our panels underneath here, we're going to lay a strip of glue along its edge. Remember, there are 4 of these rectangular panels, which will match up to the 4 sides 20 by 20 square. Overlapping and gluing that down to the inside edge. Move on to the next panel.
Up in there. Being liberal with the glue, lots of glue. And as you glue this, it will begin to fold
Up. So we sort of have to fold this edge over. And glue it to the next corner. Again, this is very, very helpful to have your partner help you here. Continuing on, as you get each section done, make sure the glue is adhering everywhere, and continue on all 4 panels until the top square is glued on.
If you have wrinkles and bulges, just be sure that you make the top airtight to not let any of the higher out.
Fold it over and pat it down to get it to seal. Alright, we now have a balloon. Check for any holes, such as this one, and glue them up as necessary. And the final piece is to take the tissue paper. So start by bending the collar over and creasing it down the middle, creating a track or a groove that we can slip the tissue paper into. And then use a stapler, staple that on. Continue feeding the tissue paper into that. Pinch it and staple it. And just a little bit left over, so I'll tear off a bit of this second one. Finish up that collar. There. Now I'm just using a simple fan, but this will give you an idea of what it will look like as it blows up and inflates.